Hi Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 1st to the 15th, 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Scorpio, September 1st to 15th, 2021, Scorpio, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. My goodness. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. Let's see what the cards have to say. We have Temperance, which is Scorpio, which is Sagittarius energy. So if we're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, this is going to be coming through quite profoundly. Also, if we have Sagittarius within our natal chart, the Wheel of Fortune is coming forward. Things are really changing. We have the Eight of Swords, which I really felt while shuffling the cards, everything kept on like slipping out, and they weren't the right ones, but they were falling forward. And it's going to be like that. It's going to be this false start that we go through, and it's going to make us doubt ourselves. With Justice, we have Libra energy coming through. So if we're born on the cusp with Libra, that's going to be coming through quite profoundly. Or if we have Libra within our chart, in our inner selves, we kind of want everything to be fair. And we're going to think it has to be fair, it has to be fair. So much so, excuse me, so much so that it makes us doubt the way that we can move forward. Because if anybody complains, we're going to be like, oh my goodness, I did it wrong. So just be mindful of that. We have the Page of Swords here, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it's the heart and the mind really coming together. With the Death card, with us in the major arcana coming through, we're represented Scorpio by the Death card, in the major arcana by the Cups, in the minor arcana. We are really starting to own our heart space. We're also starting to own our emotions, what we desire. But again, the way that our emotions and our mind come together and help to move us forward. In our public arena, we have the Death card coming through. Again, this is very much the essence of ourselves during this time, and the Emperor. The essence of ourselves leads us to a place of power, a place of determination, and a place of focus. And this is not a time that we're going to be taking lightly. When it comes to money and when it comes to career, we are we're breaking down barriers. And this is a time where what once held us back is not going to be the same as what holds us back now. Things are going to be more in our heads. We have to be really mindful of that and not talking ourselves out of opportunities that are coming our way. Now, the energy that we have to be mindful of is angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Strength. Now, this is Leo energy. This is also a sense of I can be more forceful, I can be more demanding, I can be more than you. We're going to be really drawn to people with very strong personalities who believe that they are right, who are determined, who are focused, who are, just a little bit vicious. And we're not going to see them as vicious first. We're going to see them as people who get the job done. And that's great. They do get the job done. But they don't have that moral compass that we want. They don't have the same way of looking at things as we do. So we kind of have to step back and say they might be coming across as brute force strength. But what we need is that compassionate, loving, overlooked strength that is much stronger than the brute force strength will ever be. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, goodness, and spirit guides. There we go. Self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is a sense of I am falling into alignment with myself, with what I desire, and with who I am. We have to listen to our guts during this time. This is just going to be beneficial. It's going to help us understand ourselves. It's going to help us understand where it is that we want to be. But there's also going to be a sense of we're very sensitive to the energy around us. That's why we can feel trapped and overwhelmed. That's why we are going to have a tendency during this time to think, oh, no, I'm not really in tuned, and talk ourselves out of blessings. That's where temperance comes in. We need to find the balance within ourselves, because as we balance ourselves, we balance our chakra energy, we balance our passions and our desires and what we need and how we are achieving. So this is going to be a time for us where we see ourselves transforming. And that's what the death card that we're represented by in the major arcana is all about. The dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. That's why, excuse me. That's why when she's making tea, you have the hot water sitting in the tea leaves, right? Becoming tea. It transforms. And it transforms through a bit of stress. It transforms through boiling. It just transforms. And so during this time, we are going to see ourselves transformed by the energy around us, by what we desire, by who we are, by the place that we need to be within our lives, but also by stepping into our energy and saying, I am present within myself. Because if we are not present within ourselves during this time, Scorpio, we are going to find that everything is always changing, but yet we never find that we have the correct footing. So this is going to be a time for us where stepping back, stepping into our energy, saying, what do I want? What's important to me? What isn't? Where is it that I want to be? Where is it that I do not want to be? And how is it that I move forward for me? This helps us career-wise, and this helps us financially, because it's really making things quite clear. And it's really sitting there and saying, other people's expectations, let them be their own. These are my expectations for me. This is my game plan for this time. And it brings us to the Wheel of Fortune. It brings us to everything changing. The Wheel of Fortune is kind of sometimes feeling as if we're on this Ferris wheel, this merry-go-round, where we have our highs, we have our lows, but it never really stops. So this is, for us, a sense of I'm stepping into a new season. I'm stepping into a new understanding of myself. It's at my root. It's at what I desire. It's at where I need to be. And as I step into this new season, I step into a greater form and a greater power of me. And as this is done, we then embrace this place of justice. We embrace this place of discerning energy. When it comes to the inner self during this time, we can be made to feel super guilty. Now, I remember somebody telling me, he was saying, Dane, no, nobody can make you feel anyway. You respond to things and feel that way because of it. And that was a really hard pill for me to swallow, because he was kind of right. You can't feel guilty unless you let yourself feel guilty about things, right? But when you're dealing with people who know your buttons, who can read people really, really well and push the buttons, manipulate them, we can be made to feel certain ways. And this is a time where we have to be very discerning about the energy that is around us. We also have to be very discerning about the way we bring things in. All right? By this is what Spirit is saying is take notes. Take notes, look at the people around us, look at the things that we want, the things that we need, see where that person is pulling their weight, see where they aren't. It's also, it doesn't matter if you're running a company or if you aren't. What matters is that you know a person's variables. You know where they're proficient or where they're weak. And you'll also start to see that within yourself. It's kind of like, okay, what is it that I can do really well? And what is it that I don't do really well? And that doesn't bring me joy, and that doesn't help me move forward. Do I need to improve on this, or do I need to find a way to kind of get somebody else to do this for me? It's not going to be kind of pushing off our job onto another person, but it's going to be knowing our strengths and understanding our weaknesses. That's going to be discernment for us. It's also going to be saying, I don't need to surround myself with people who do not raise my energy vibration. I do not need to be in the rat race for something that does not make me feel as if I've come to a powerful conclusion or I've won anything. It makes me feel less than. It makes me feel overwhelmed. And so when we are being just here in our inner selves, we have to be just to ourselves. We have to be just to who we are, because it's going to be during this time where our emotions can run very, very high. We're very in tuned to where we want to be, to our emotional self, to our public self. What we're going to have a bit of trouble with is being in tune to our inner self. Excuse me. Emotionally, we can understand things, we can see things, we can feel it. But how does that translate to how do I get to move forward, to what I desire within my life? How do I find peace? How do I find harmony within me? And we might be saying, Dane, what does this have to do with money? And what does this have to do with career? When we are in harmony with ourselves, things fall into place more easily than if we are not in harmony. If we are always fighting against, our workplace, if we're always fighting against our coworkers, if we're always fighting against, the fact that just getting out of bed to get to the job and do what we have to do is completely overwhelming, that's going to be something we need to recognize. What is it that holds us back, and why? And why are we keeping ourselves tied there? Now, there can be the reasons like, bills have to be paid. This is the job I have. This is where I need to be. And that's respectable. It is highly respectable to say, I have responsibilities and I am upholding those responsibilities instead of running away and letting other people do it. But what we have to be very mindful of here is not feeling trapped. Having an outlet where we can express ourselves creatively or individually and powerfully, embrace what we desire, whether that be hiking or, martial arts or music or whatever it is, being able to say, this is me. And this is where I get to declutter my mind, where I get to step into my strength, where I get to be and embrace myself without feeling chaotic, without feeling stuck, without feeling angry, without building resentment. And that's going to be a very powerful place for us. Even if we just need to talk to somebody, a really close friend or somebody professionally, and release the energy in us that is blocking us, holding us back, denying us. Because we become a student here of our words, of what we desire, of what we want in our lives, and of who we are. We cut through doubts and fears and negativity. This is going to be a time where we say what we mean. And we need to listen to ourselves, because it can be that we say it out loud, but it can also be that we say it within our minds. And we have profound thoughts during this time, but we're ignoring them because it doesn't fit into our narrative. It doesn't fit into what everybody else wants from us. This is a time where we have to say, am I living for everybody else or am I living for me? The Page of Swords can also be an air sign energy that's at our heart during this time, but also embracing the power of our words, the power of what we desire. The air sign energy is, again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We need to see who we are. This Libra energy is amplified. This sense of justice is amplified within our hearts. If we walk away from it and we don't become students of being discerning and saying, what's just for me, then everything can fall apart. If we let people make us feel guilty because we just don't think that we're doing enough, or they don't think that we're doing enough, and you sit there and you look at the person and it's like, you've been sitting on the couch, watching television. I've been running around like a chicken without my head. I didn't tell you that the bottles that you put into the refrigerator are still in the fridge. That's not my problem. That's yours. So this is going to be a time where people can make us feel guilty over the littlest of things, over the silliest of things. And yet we'll take that as another fail, another, kind of notch against us, another thing we have to improve on. No, this is enough is enough. This is a time where we need to embrace our determination, our integrity, our hearts, our desires. Because what we're doing is we're honing our mind. We're becoming a student of the way the mind and the heart come together to be unstoppable and to be powerful. And it brings us then into us. It brings us into our blessings. It brings us into our desires. It brings us into being open and honest with where we want to be and why we want to be there. It also has us connecting with the transformative nature that is innate to our being. When we are represented by a card in the major arcana, that's the essence of who we are. And this is the death card. Now, people might say, okay, that's not nice. The essence of who I am is death. Yes, the essence of who you are is transmutation, is transformation, is being able to adapt, being able to reassess, being able to balance within yourself what you want, what you desire, and where it is that you need to be. When we are embracing our hearts, it's like, okay, understand, I live in my heart during this time. Scorpios, as water sign energies, we live in our hearts anyway. Our mind is coming in to pay a visit during this time. When it comes to money, when it comes to career, saying be logical about things. Don't act purely logically. Don't act purely emotionally. Find a balance. When we find this balance, we are going to see that it transforms us. As we are transformed by it, there's a sense of the emotional reactionary instinct kind of being able to be toned down just a little bit, to be able to embrace who we are and where it is that we want to be. We need to see how we're changing, how the world is changing around us, how our wants and our desires are changing in the sphere of our success. And it moves us then to the death card. It moves us then again to the public arena and saying, this is innately, positively, and powerfully me. We have this thing where we're able to go out and we're able to have people kind of look at us like we're $1 million. We have things put together. There's power to us. There's authority when we talk. There's determination in our listening, in our understanding, in our connection with ourselves. And that's going to be a hugely powerful thing. The thing is that we doubt ourselves a lot during this time. So any decision that we make, after we make it, we can be really confident when we make it. When we're done, it's like, oh my gosh, what have I done? How have I messed this up? What went wrong? And this is going to be a time in the public arena where we kind of need to fake it till we make it, embrace a confidence that we don't always feel inside, and look at ourselves and say, head held high, shoulders back. Everybody doesn't have any of the answers more than me do. That's not a proper sentence. Nobody has more answers than I do when I am creating myself, when I am moving me forward. This is going to be a time where we realize that, where we realize everything is transforming, everything is understanding, everything is adapting and building and gaining, and it moves us then to the Emperor. Now this is Aries energy in the public arena, claiming our throne, claiming our authority, but this is also a sense of I claim who I am. I claim this throne because nobody gets to take it from me. I claim what I desire because nobody gets to dictate my world to me. I open my heart, I open my soul, and I embrace my understanding. This is my power, this is my truth, and this is where I need to be. Period. End of discussion. The Emperor claims the throne because the Emperor is not ruled by anyone. Kings could be ruled by high kings or emperors, right? Back in the day. Now we have the Emperor. We have the most powerful of them. We do not step away. We embrace this power. We need to step into the power, step into the storm, and say, all right, I'm done being pushed around. I'm done being, led by other people. I need to take charge. But I also need to listen, evaluate, take in the information that is around me. Spirit said in the beginning, kind of take notes on people. And that sounds kind of odd to do because that's not something that we usually do. But even if we don't like taking notes, if that's not our thing, meditating on the people that we work with, meditating on the energy that we connect to every single day, meditating on the way that we want to move forward, also meditating on how much money we want to earn. Because we could have a blockage that says, I can't claim that throne because my caregiver said I would never be successful. My ex-lover took all my money. All these things where it's like, wow, I've paid a high price for simply existing or having the wrong people within my life. How do I claim the throne here? And it's by noting that we're worth it and knowing what we desire. And instead of that feeling like, oh my gosh, that's absolutely out of the realm of existence, saying, I can do that. I can build that pathway within my mind that opens up that door, that gives me a place of prosperity and success and greater understanding. And it moves us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the King of Pentacles. That's being mindful of people who are purely driven by money. If you don't make enough money, they don't want to know you. Or they have to tell everybody what they have bought or, how much money they make if they're not going to be a little bit subtle about it. And that's something that we don't need to get into during this time, because we can be easily made to feel less than, and yet the power of ourselves is shining through in a way that we need to harness and utilize as we step into a new season of being in self, as we are transformed in the most natural way for a Scorpio, but also in one of the most powerful ways for a Scorpio, in a way that says, this is me. Unapologetically, I see your shadows, I see your doubts, I see your fears. And I am not letting anybody take away my journey, my progress, my determination forward. And so here, with everybody who boils it down to money, that's fine. We have these people in our lives. That's great. But we don't get to be ruled by them. Money, power, success, promotions, that type of thing. New cars, ridiculously expensive watches or whatever. Don't get pulled into that world. It moves us then into the chakra energy, the subconscious chakra energy, which is nurturing. And this is the Earth Star chakra, located 6 inches below our feet. We are nurturing the dreams that we had as a child. We are nurturing where we want to be. We are nurturing our bonds between those we love and who we are. We are nurturing our essence. This is also telling us, when Spirit is saying, don't get caught up in the, I have to acquire more. This is also very much Spirit telling us that even if we don't have it, like we're not a Kardashian, we're not able to blow, so much money on whatever, it doesn't mean we're less than. And our world does a really good job of saying either you make this much money or you're not worth it. Either you have this type of job or you're not worth it. And this is a time where it doesn't matter if we have that type of job or not, where we say, I'm definitely worth it. I am powerful, brilliant, and in gaining understanding of myself every single day. And nobody gets to push me around. Nobody gets to have me deny this. Because then I deny my own justice, my own wealth within myself. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy. And this is the Fool. It's like, take the chance. Go, jump. Every single person who starts, every single person who goes after it is a fool. They're considered foolish. People laugh at them. They don't understand them. That's fine. But when you win, when you are that hero, everybody wants to know you. But if you didn't take that risk, nobody would ever care. So that's going to be something important. It's not saying here, take, crazy risks, just roll the dice and see what happens. It's like, no, be smart, be calculating, know what you desire, know who you are profoundly and know who you're dealing with. And say, now I have to step forward. It brings us our subconscious inner self, which is the sun. It's so beautiful, and it is so powerful, because we have this doubt here. We have the 8 of Swords, where people can live in the 8 of Swords for their whole entire life, always doubting, always thinking they're not good enough, always kind of putting on, this cocky air of course I can, but never really measuring up to it. And with the sun, our subconscious, coming forward and saying, you are radiant, you're shining with radiance. Others see it. Why don't you? Others embrace it. Why don't you? Embrace the sun. Embrace the power forward. Embrace the beauty that is you. And it brings us to our subconscious emotional energy, which is the Fool again. Take that leap of faith. Let yourself feel more than maybe you want to. Let yourself feel and be open and be honest with yourself, because you're taking that leap of faith emotionally, and you live in the realm of emotions, Scorpio. That's what you were existed for. And so here, when we say take that leap of faith, go after what it is that you want, meld the mind and the heart together, let none rule you, right? Do not let the mind rule you. Do not let emotions rule you. Do not let anybody in this world rule you but you. And embrace your powerful understanding, your ferocity of individuality, and your ability to open up the door. And it moves us then to our subconscious public self, and that's the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is, again, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It is a sense of, I am pulling the strings now. I know what I desire, and I am speaking this into reality, into understanding, into determination. The Queen of Swords embraces. The Queen of Swords is the warrior queen. The Queen of Swords is misunderstood. She has the most masculine energy within her. And we want things to be simple and laid out, and one thing or another. But this is a time where we ourselves are complexity, power, and determination. And no one and nothing is going to take that from us. Unless, of course, we rob it from ourselves. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Spirit is also saying, do not be afraid during this time to be you. If you're going to think like, oh, I'm too quirky for this, or, this is just too out there, what are people going to think, or how is it that I can trust myself? Let yourself be you. Let yourself move forward, completely embracing who you are, who you were, and the faint outlines of the dream of who you will be. And let that be profound, Scorpio. So let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the beauty, the power, but the self that is coming forward. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio.